It's Darkside Phil's most disappointing games of 2014. Number 5, Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2. Now, I'll be the first to admit that Castlevania Lords of Shadow was one of those games that I really appreciated even though I wasn't very good at it. In fact, the game destroyed me so many times that I actually broke a PlayStation 3 controller during my playthrough by slamming it onto my coffee table. When Lords of Shadow 2 was released, I was like, man, will it be more of the same? Could they maybe take more of these Castlevania-esque gameplay elements and add maybe more characters or abilities? What's this game even going to be about? And then when I heard that it was kind of a sequel to the original game, I said, sweet, let's continue on with the plot line. Unfortunately, where they go with this plot is one of the most confusing, stupid, and just dumb things that I've ever heard of. So let's take Dracula out of his element and bring him into the modern day. Okay, that could be cool, except for that every portion of the game that is modern day, you are incredibly weak. You're a pushover. Dracula's a wimp. Any normal schmo on the street could walk up and kick him in the balls and defeat him in combat. It's a joke. And so what ends up happening is most of the modern day sequences end up being sneaking around with almost Metal Gear Solid-esque style gameplay that really doesn't befit the character. Pair that with the fact that this game just doesn't know where to go with the story and jumps the shark officially when Dracula gets on top of a fucking missile and surfer rides it across the street in an attempt to break into a building. It's one of the dumbest gameplay sequences I've ever seen in my life. It completely embarrasses everything this franchise has been about up to now. It's a huge joke. Even the game developer of this game said publicly he didn't want to make another Lords of Shadow game, but he was told he had to, so he basically did whatever he had to do to get one out there, completely ruining the series. And it's funny because if you actually just focus on the parts of the game that take place inside Castle Dracula, in the old style world with ghouls and demons and monsters, you know, the things that make Castlevania great, that part of the game is great, but the second that you have to factor in the modern day sequences, it's terrible, and it really ruins the game. For a franchise that just kind of established itself a few years ago and took a foothold in what a lot of people consider gaming greatness, this one took such a huge step back. No one's ever going to be wanting talking about Lords of Shadow ever again, and in fact, it effectively killed the franchise. There will be no further games in this line. What a disappointment. Poor Dracula. Oh, how well we knew ya until someone decided to bury us 6 feet under. What a joke. Coming up next on the countdown, a game that's the sequel to something that was surprisingly good, unfortunately ends up being more of the same of what you would expect for this kind of game, and disappoints. Check it out.